Welcome to the podcast formerly known as the Conspiracy Cast. The reason we're changing the title is because YouTube hates us.
Yeah.
Basically.
Glorp you, YouTube.
It works for me.
Yeah, so if you want to support us, you can subscribe to Tales of Earth. Share Tales of Earth, the channel, with your friends and families. Maybe you have multiple families. You can also support us by purchasing some Tales of Earth merch. What do we have here? No, neither one of these are Tales of Earth.
And I am not wearing one today either.
And you can also follow us on twitch.tv/comicstorian, where we stream this live every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can go to Patreon and support us there, where you'll get early access to this show as well as other shows. And we still have not decided on a title for the show.
I'm a fan of the podcast formerly known as the Conspiracy Cast, but it's also very long and conspiracy still in it.
Yes, exactly. So I was thinking more like Mystery Cast, Unsolved Mystery Cast, Whatever Happened to Pogs.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
I still have my Platinum Slammer, just saying. I do.
I miss Pogs so much.
I don't have any of mine.
In England, that was like the thing you did during like recess.
Us too, yeah.
Oh my God.
Us too, yeah. Yeah, so
huge.
they, I had like Power Ranger Pogs. I think I had,
Did you guys have that Pog maker as well, where you could get like cardboard and put it in and you...
No.
My dad got us that.
I had one of those.
But they were the coolest.
They were so
bring
cool.
You
that
could just go to
back.
stores and there would just be big bins of Pogs.
Yes.
It was like 10 for $1.
I actually remember being at a
roller.
roller rink, and they were like
Jesus,
one of the
that's a whole
prizes.
thing.
Yes, I know. And one of the prizes you could get was like a Pog board. I was like, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of ancient relics like us,
We did very much show our age.
What
Yes.
if future archaeologists, one of them finds a Pog and they're like, clearly,
Yes.
with the way that they do it,
This
they'd be
was
like,
money.
this was clearly some sort of
Yes.
device that they tracked the stars with.
yes, look
And
at
knew
the
about
stars.
fertility, because that's clearly what this is.
This one has a skull on it. This one denoted death.
This
Morning.
one, if you move it around, it's got some sort of holographic feature to it.
Yes.
This one
Wow.
has something called In Sync.
Turns out, in sync. I don't know. Whoever they are. I believe they
must
were
have
one
been-
of those South Korean
They must
bands.
have been worshipped as gods.
Man, they must
Yes.
have wanted it that way.
This got weird.
Clearly, these were this was
like-
currency on the,
like
in the
that.
schoolyard. It was schoolyard currency. Kind of was.
Actually,
It really was.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really was.
God, we got older
Yeah.
for a minute.
Are we playing?
let's
Are we
just-
playing for keepsies?
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So, what I discovered
Yes.
in digging deep into this particular topic was that searching for forbidden archaeology, like actual forbidden archaeology, things that really genuinely contradict
Yes.
convention, is very hard.
Almost as if it's forbidden.
Almost, yes.
I
as
was
if it's
telling him that
forbidden.
he's now on
So-
quite a couple lists.
Yeah, I was going to say SWAT showed up at your
Yes.
house.
So what I did find, as usual, are these really fun lists. Because
We as humans love making lists.
Yeah.
we
I
love
noticed.
making lists.
Yeah.
And number 8
It
will
helps
shock
us,
you.
Helps us feel in control. Number 8 might shock you.
might.
If it's the Baghdad Battery.
I don't
know what that is.
What? Oh, they know what it is. The Baghdad Battery. So,
Are we talking about the Game Boy that somehow survived?
no, there was an ancient like pot.
Oh, that was the
found-
Gulf War. Never
Yes, there's an ancient pot found in Baghdad, and it basically it has like a copper wire in it. There was some evidence of like citrus, like not just
chemicals
juices,
and
but like
stuff.
chemicals,
Yeah.
and they assumed based on the structure that it was some kind of battery.
Huh.
So yeah,
that's
actually
kinda
it's
cool.
probably on one of these lists.
What did it power?
I don't know. Number 1. Okay, so the first list is 11 extraordinary out-of-place artifacts. This is actually out of place is an actual category in archaeology. So it's
Right,
something
like
that you
it shows
find-
up where it shouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
it's
hypothetically,
yeah.
it should not be there.
Right,
Yes.
like geologically, it looks
make
like
any
it
sense.
belongs
yes,
in
or
this
even
part
in
of
the
the world.
even in the
or-
strata that it's found in.
Right.
So it's like, well, this is a layer of strata that is like 11 million years old. This should not be here.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, even if it looks like a totally normal, like tiny ancient statue from Egypt, but you
Right.
find it like in a layer of strata in New Mexico.
Right,
You know,
right,
you're like,
right,
This defies
Just-
all logic.
just doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make
Yeah,
any
yeah.
sense. Yeah. So 11 extraordinary out-of-place artifacts. One is the controversial 300 million year old screw of unknown origin. Who left this baffling object on the Earth? Did this alien artifact belong to an unknown ancient civilization far more advanced than us?
Atlantis.
The screw, which is clearly visible, and the head and nut has a length of about a centimeter and a diameter of about 3 millimeters. The scientists initially thought that the screw was in a farm machine, but further examination revealed that the screw was firmly fixed in the rock. X-ray studies also ruled out the possibility that it is fossil crinoidea trunk, because I'm not a paleontologist, so forgive me, because its size is larger than the specimens of marine animals. Geologists estimate that the age of the rock is 300 to 320 million years. Looks like a screw in a rock.
It does.
It does, but at the same time, I could also see that being an ancient instrument. Because
Like
if
a
you think
musical
about it, like the
instrument?
way that it worked, or the way
Like
that
a
it looks,
washboard?
exactly.
Yes, the issue is its age.
Right.
Modern humans, as we know them, didn't come around until about 100,000 years ago.
Okay, that's the problem. Okay,
Yes,
I
that's
wasn't
why it
sure.
doesn't
make any sense.
I thought it was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that it was like a
too
screw,
old,
and they
right,
were
right.
like, "What the hell?"
It's like if you found a Game Boy,
Right.
from like 400,000 years ago, be like, this doesn't make any
It probably
sense.
still would work though if you could find the right batteries for it.
It probably
probably
would.
Atlantean.
Just blow out the cartridge
Yeah.
and throw that guy back in there.
Intriguing.
I
So
miss the days
aliens
when that would
who
fix it.
drop
I don't know.
screws.
They lost a screw on their way
they're
down.
Like whatever you do, don't lose anything from the
Actually,
ship.
Yeah. Why is the primary buffer panel falling off my ship?
here's what really
Anybody?
happened.
Thank you.
Here's what really happened. It's part of a time machine from the future.
Right.
That when they were time traveling,
Yes.
it just
Yeah.
Yeah, it just flew off. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually one theory.
and
as
that's
to
why we don't have a time traveler.
Right.
Because they were like, "Where did he go?" Because
So
it broke.
yeah, that's one theory as to why we find strange things in
Time travel.
in the strangest places. Yeah, time travel. Either man-made time travel or anomalous time travel.
right.
Where
Like
suddenly
the
somebody
thin
just randomly.
areas, yeah, you just
Yeah.
drop in like we said.
Yeah, so like that's why you might find like a Game Boy or a watch or something
What
in
was that
ancient
called?
strata.
Because didn't we do that one where you
Yeah,
like
where
slip
it's-
dimensions or something?
Yep,
What was that called?
Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect.
Yes.
That's right.
We also did a whole episode on like stories of people slipping through
Check 'em out.
accidental
time
yes,
travel.
time travel and things like that. Yes, please go watch those episodes. They are fantastic. Number 2, Nampa figurine that strongly challenges the evolutionary scenario. That's definitely a person, and it is
Does look like a person.
definitely a figurine of some kind.
It's an ancient Lego minifig.
Also time travel.
It's possible.
It's actually Roblox.
Roblox.
They couldn't afford them.
What was the other one? It was like the sticks. You put together.
Oh,
sticks.
Kinects.
Kinects. Yes.
I remember because it was kinetics.
This whole episode is like just nostalgia.
Yeah, we don't mean to. We're
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are talking about ancient history.
That is
which,
true, and
mean,
I am
that's-
Pogs.
ancient.
Yes, you are.
Yep. A tiny artifact depicting a human figure was found in 1889 when workers were drilling a water well near Nampa in southwest Idaho. The artifact, skillfully formed in clay, is a true mystery that has baffled scientists for many years. The object is about 1.5 inches long and remarkable for the perfection with which it represents the human form. Professor F.W. Putnam of Harvard University found through microscope analysis that quartz grains under the doll's right arm had been cemented by iron molecules. This too indicates a great age of the artifact and is reason to believe it is not of recent manufacture. It was deeply colored with the iron oxides characteristic of the deposits from the 300-foot level, or 91 meters. The strata at this depth is dated at about 2 million years old. Who formed this most unusual figurine, if not Homo sapiens? Again,
No, I got this one.
What's that?
All right, so this was the toy of a small child from our alien overlords who once ruled over all of humanity as we were their slave labor.
so the child made the toy because the child is a little more like progressive in their
Sure,
thinking.
exactly,
Like, I made a
yeah,
human.
yeah.
What is this trash?
Yeah, exactly.
That would
And then they
explain
threw
the
it-
broken
yeah.
legs.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's a great idea.
Interesting. I like it. I like it.
So we were.
You know what's even weirder?
They were
They
a
found a
lizard.
dime back then.
That is
too.
also strange.
That's a perfect dime.
It's a size comparison for those of
possibly
you that
be
can't
for
see.
size comparison.
2 million years ago.
Actually,
Yet
you know
it
what?
says
1971 on it.
I am going to cast this so you guys can see the images we're looking at as well.
Nope.
Yep.
There it is.
All right.
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay, there's that.
Okay, yeah.
There's the little figurine we were talking
And
about.
the ancient
Now, I mean,
dime.
that's pretty. And a lot of times you can
I need to
argue
reframe
like
this camera. This is awful.
a lot of times you could argue that well, it's
There's the
I forget what the
screw.
effect is where we see like human faces and things or things like that.
Oh, I remember. We talked.
I don't know what it is,
but
it's the you can't unsee it kind of thing.
But I mean, there are times you can be like, okay, this is definitely.
Oh, I know what it is, because it's there's like the face one where if you see 3 points,
exactly. Your mind tells you it's a face kind of thing.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I understand that sometimes. But like that's straight up a little human figurine. Like I don't know how else that's not an accident, or maybe it was a crazy accident. Who knows? A crazy accident could be formed it that perfectly.
It's one of those ones where it's like one of the craziest coincidences that you don't.
But to me, that's a human figurine.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to. There's a psychological
like the thing
term
on the moon and the Mars.
Yes,
where they see a face.
I know exactly.
But to me, this doesn't look like my mind is making it look like a human figurine.
No, not at all.
That looks like a human figurine.
It looks like a very old
Pareidolia.
Oh, you're still trying to come up with a term?
Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah, so it's
Pareidolia.
Pareidolia.
Yeah,
I
was
so
close.
Yeah,
I was close. Yeah.
So representative of or related to Doilia. That's me. That's etymology, people. Yeah.
Gary made a joke that maybe like 4 people on the internet are gonna get,
and they're gonna find it hilarious. They're like, "Oh, he gets me."
I would like to think that this figure actually is a representation of our alien overlords, but has been so worn down that we can't actually get
more humanoid looking.
Yes,
what
exactly.
if we are aliens from the alien overlords, but we just forgot?
Well, that's
what if
one
we
of the
are
things we talked about. We talked about it on another episode.
We did, yeah.
Have you noticed how I'm trying to
That's nicely
remember, guys? Other podcasts.
Are we running out of ideas when everything we talk about happens to have also been in another episode?
Or are we just stuck in a time loop? Find out next week.
Yes. All hands abandon ship. Okay, so 3, antediluvian legacy. So antediluvian means anything pre-flood. Right. Okay. So antediluvian legacy, a small cube that remains a great challenge to science. This very ancient artifact is a great challenge to science as we know it, as is everything else on this list. True. It appeared unexpectedly with no evidence of a preceding period of development. Its technological sophistication seems far beyond the capabilities of ancient peoples, who needed this object millions of years ago. Okay.
That's not a cube.
Wait for it. In 1885, an iron smelter working in the foundry of the Austrian Isidor Braun of Wacklabruck, Austria, discovered a small cube-shaped piece of iron embedded in a block of coal, dating to the Tertiary period, lasting from approximately 65.5 million to 2.6 million years ago. So what's odd about it is that it probably was a cube. It doesn't look like a cube to me. It just looks like a deposit to me.
Yeah.
But I'm also not a professional, so
that's your problem.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not a professional either.
Yeah.
But I do know what a cube looks like.
Yes.
Also remember, he who smelt it dealt it.
This is true.
Because there's a
however, he who rhymed it supplied it.
I don't think that's how it goes.
I think he's saying he farted.
Actually, that actually is.
I thought it was declined it. He who declined it.
Number 4, baffling ancient man-made object hidden inside a stone. Another screw.
You. Oh,
yeah. So there's that.
That looks like the exact same one from before, but higher.
It does. Well, it's a different rock too,
and a different screw.
Well, clearly that time machine did not work.
Screws are
dropping screws everywhere.
Yep. Time.
All right.
You're actually going through. You get a screw. You get a screw. Everyone gets a screw.
What do we do with these extra parts? Just chuck them out the window.
This is yet another mysterious prehistoric. And however much time it takes us to create time travel, we still litter.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like, what's ancient Earth like? It's gonna,
what's it gonna
hurt. Yeah.
We actually ran out of space for the trash, so we've been just sending it back through time.
If you think about it, you could throw your trash into the future when the Earth is already destroyed.
That's true.
At that point, it's already a big trash heap.
Future. It's
that's future's problem.
Maybe we destroy it because we sent all of our trash into the future.
Whoops. Oh, my bad.
This is yet another mysterious prehistoric high-tech artifact from the distant past. Hence prehistoric. Inside the stone, there's a man-made baffling object. Very little is known about this curious artifact. The object was brought to light in 2009, and it was found in the village Sarajevo, Moscow, in the Moscow region, Russia. At first, it was believed to be just a stone, and there were attempts to use it as part of building material. However, soon it became clear that this was not an ordinary stone.
No,
It's
for
got
it had a screw in it.
Yes, or something.
Gasp.
Number 5, mysterious ancient bell-shaped metal vase embedded within 15 feet of solid sedimentary rock. It is possible that modern ways of thinking developed far earlier than we think. On June 7th, 1851, a very interesting thing, who wrote this, appeared in the Scientific American. The article described the discovery of an object that resembled a silver zinc vase inlaid with fine silver in the form of the vine. It was embedded within 15 feet of solid sedimentary rock. The age of the vase, according to the rock in which it was found, is supposedly millions of years old. That is, I would say something that intricate. Now, it's one thing to find an object that looks kind of like a screw.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
But to find
that's designed and everything.
That's design.
Yeah.
Like I can see a tree on like a cliff,
Right.
Yeah.
with flowers on it.
Well, this
Like in the
also
rim?
this also holds to the theory that humankind, or at least intelligent life on this planet, is cyclical. Mm-hmm. Like we develop, we die off. We develop, we die off.
Yeah.
Or that we are
We develop, we get a religion, they destroy history, and we repeat it. That happened too, right?
not on a global scale.
I mean, kinda.
Okay. What was I going to say?
Glaring at?
Who's glaring at what?
Dan was glaring at somebody.
I was.
I don't know.
You know who you are.
Oh, yes.
The people blacklisting me.
cyclical.
Yes, humanity is cyclical. Also, one theory is that we're getting dumber.
I mean, that's the saying. Like those who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it, or whatever the actual saying is.
Like whatever that stupid quote is.
I don't know what it is, but that's the gist.
Yes, basically, is that we are now in many ways dumber than we were. Just because we're using high-tech equipment doesn't necessarily mean we're smarter either.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like we could have had better ways of doing things, but we've lost it, and now we're depending on technology.
Yeah. A lot of people say that with like spelling, that because computers have spell check and stuff.
Oh, sure, you don't have
no
to think
one
about it anymore.
cares about how to actually spell things anymore.
Or formatting.
Or format. And like a lot of that stuff, when it becomes automatic.
I just type things until that red or blue line goes away.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even keep typing. I just right click.
I was like, if you right click, it'll fix it for you.
All right.
Turn on autocorrect and you'll be saying, duck.
Yes. Number 6, millennia-old, extremely complex object of unknown origin. I feel like all of these are. In the beginning of 1974, a strange object was brought to light by a group of construction workers digging in the area of central Romania. The discovery was made at the depth of approximately 10 meters in the sediments of the river Mureș, 2 kilometers east of Aiud and about 50 kilometers south of Cluj-Napoca.
Former capital
Yep.
of Transylvania.
Thank you. Former capital of Transylvania. This artifact was discovered together with very ancient bones, including the jaw of a mastodon and a sand pit under a 35-foot thick layer of sand. Such an extraordinary finding raises interesting questions which cannot be answered easily. At first, the finding appeared to be a dark stone, but after removing the thick crust of sand from its surface, it was revealed to be a metal object of unknown origin.
It looks like a door hinge.
Yeah. I was just going to say some kind of
Once
hinge
again,
or something.
that was a really bad time machine because parts are flying everywhere.
The hinge.
Because I won't lie, a lot of
mastodon in the face. Killed it in a sand pit.
What have we done?
It's like leaning out the window. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Killed
This is
a
just one
mastodon.
time machine that's just going around the earth, just falling apart. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's just a brilliant idea for a screenplay.
It's the time machine if it goes below 5 years per hour.
We'll call it Around the World in 0 days. You're welcome.
-4. We go around the world. We come back 4 days before we left.
Oh man, this ship is falling apart. Number 7, authentic and very ancient London hammer. That's what they used to call Dan. The London hammer.
The London hammer.
Yes.
I don't know if that's what they used to call Dan, but that's what I'm calling it now.
That's
amazing.
A very modern hammer made from an alloy of iron was found inside a 100 million year old rock, according to geologists, which is formed around it. Who manufactured this hammer and when? 100 million years ago. Based on the standpoint of accepted research in science, it is impossible for this hammer to exist, much less to have ever been manufactured. But it exists.
Well, yeah.
And this is extraordinary evidence of a very different history of Earth and humankind. If our school teachings are correct, there is no other conclusion than that an alien visiting Earth must have lost the hammer.
Because I do believe that aliens use this kind of hammer when they travel through space.
Yes. Yes, they do.
That's actually Mjolnir.
That's Mjolnir.
Yeah,
Mjolnir's
it broke
little cousin.
at some point.
Yep.
An alien showed up and was like banging on the engine of his spaceship and it was like,
Dunk.
it'll work.
Yeah,
He's
whatever.
like, screw, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. What is this hinge? I don't even know.
Then a time
tools.
machine goes zipping past him. What the hell?
What the hell was that?
All right. Yep, there you go. There's wait, oh, wrong way. Okay. There's the hammer.
Oh.
There's the hammer, guys and ladies.
And there's the hammer.
The London hammer.
London hammer.
Number 8, 100,000 years old stone embedded within a 3-pronged plug.
Yeah, that is definitely a 3-pronged plug, too.
It is. Electric component embedded in the granite. This mysterious archaeological find was discovered accidentally by electrical engineer John J. Williams in 1998. Like many other precious, though undervalued artifacts, it may constitute a proof that an unknown advanced civilization mastered sophisticated technology long before familiar ancient cultures came into existence. The 3-pronged plug is held by a matrix of a thus far indeterminable origin. The 0.3-inch diameter piece does not appear to be manufactured out of wood, plastic, or rubber, metal, or some other recognizable material. So they don't know what it's made of.
That definitely looks like metal prongs, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's even got like the point that they have.
Let me try to... I keep going the wrong way. I'll zoom in here for you guys watching online. There we go.
As opposed to the guy that's over there watching.
Yep. Stay on target.
I mean, it looks like a plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again,
Or
a
something.
really
I mean,
bad time machine.
Yeah.
But we
Yep.
know what country made it, maybe.
No,
That's how we
It doesn't
identify.
necessarily mean it was like an electrical outlet. Like it could have been something you had to plug into crank.
Right.
True.
Some kind of crank or something.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because it does look like it could
something had to,
rotate.
like,
Yeah.
connect with it is what I'm saying.
Like it could have been one of those like secret key kind of things.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I mean, in the
Right.
past, everyone
Right.
had like some fancy way
Secret
to
keys.
hide stuff, or
It's true.
Yep.
like
Everybody had
boxes that you like
secret
push down
passageways,
here,
yeah.
here, turn it, click this part, and then
Everyone.
it pops open.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Also boulders,
Boulders?
like Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Like the rolling boulders. and-
That's for the less.
That was your
Yes.
security system
That's
back in the day.
the very small
right here.
imagination.
This boulder right here, this will stop anybody trying to get in the house.
It's like they're going through. It's like, I got an idea.
Oh,
We're gonna
man.
shoot darts from the wall. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay, what about a
Yeah.
fallout pit? Amazing.
Yes.
We put a big rock.
What do you call
And
it?
it rolls towards people.
What are you going to call of these inventions? Home security.
Home security.
Uh,
ADT.
the old ADT. You got a sign up front. Warning, death pits. Number 9, mysterious.
boulders and more.
What do you
Protect
You got
your
the guy-
ancient artifacts.
You got the guy like installing everything. So, what do you think you want? I don't know. What do you
What are
need?
you looking for? Yeah.
Give me everything.
We've got this thing that goes over the windows now. We call it
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah, we've got this new invention. They just released it last year. It's called curses. Yes, we can protect your home with a curse.
You can't
we can
see
put-
it, but we promise it's there.
We can put darts. We can put gators in a pit. We got a big rock boulder. Or we got a new thing. We
Yeah.
got a priest in here, and he
Yes.
puts curses on the house.
Yes. They won't affect you.
More of
Don't
a, like
worry.
a
Yeah.
silent alarm kind of.
If it affects you, you can get your money back.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Number 9, mysterious blue stone produced by an unknown, highly advanced civilization, lost in time. I love these titles to these objects.
I mean, that's
Isn't that just
obviously
a
what it
sapphire
is.
rock?
Right.
or
No,
something?
it is an unknown origin produced by a highly advanced civilization.
In 1990, an odd type of bluestone was discovered by geologist and archaeologist Angelo Pittoni. During one of his archaeological excavations, he just sounds like somebody who wears his shirt unbuttoned.
Oh,
and he like
hair blowing in the
oh
wind,
yes.
just
Even when it's not windy.
where's that coming from?
Where's that coming from? Angelo Pittoni. And he's an amazing dancer, too. During one of his archaeological excavations in Sierra Leone, seriously, this guy, West Africa, he sent the mysterious stone to be investigated at several laboratories around the world. The tests were carried out at laboratories of the University of Geneva, the University of Rome, Utrecht, Tokyo, and Freiburg, Germany. I made it. All experts say the same thing, namely that the bluestone does not exist. Because it is not...
You're holding it, sir. No.
Yeah, it's like that scene in The Simpsons, like, can I have my $1 billion bill back? And he's like, what a bill? It does not exist because it's not even similar to any type of rock known in nature of this planet. Okay.
Interesting.
So
some aliens came by and like threw out their rock collection.
It was actually like they were proposing, but it's like when they dropped the ring. Oh,
come on.
I'll just get you in the.
It was a time traveler who wanted to propose
during time
while
travel.
the ship was falling apart.
Right. So
and
the
the
hinge
screws
fell off.
Okay,
here's what happened. 2 screws fell off. The hinge then fell off. Okay, so the window popped open.
Well, because obviously you don't make a time machine without a window.
So
you got to air it out every now and
time stream.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there was like a bump, and he dropped his stone that he was going to propose with.
Oh, bummer. Or it's the power
I got
source.
you,
I don't know.
your proposal.
But what I do find interesting is that the color blue is actually the most rare color in nature.
That is true.
So it is interesting to find a blue stone of this.
This is actually what powers the Power Rangers.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a piece of the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm just spouting off nonsense.
It's a kyber crystal.
So now we have ancient
Lady of
Princess
Atlantis.
Leia. Yeah. What?
Because obviously,
Yes.
when you see an old lady, you go, well, Atlantis.
Number 10, Lady of Atlantis, controversial artifact of which true origin remains obscure. As
That's
they
just
all
a really
are.
old depiction of like,
Leia.
Leia. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's where they got
Padme.
the idea.
According to some records, this puzzling limestone bust, 21 inches high, was accidentally discovered near Alicante, Spain in 1897. The artifact has long been the object of archaeological studies and debate. It is dated to the Roman or Hellenistic period. Some others believe it was created in the 4th century BC. Not long ago, some investigators claimed that the artifact could be a 19th century falsification. However, these claims have been immediately dismissed by others. Okay. Some very open-minded scientists.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Okay. Oh, well, crap.
Well, now we have objections. Yep, everyone's wrong. Some very open-minded scientists, I'm so glad they're open-minded to like truth and things like that, admit that the statue, which depicts a priestess, a noblewoman, or perhaps an unknown queen, is a mysterious creation. No one knows for sure how old it is. Have they not carbon dated the thing? It may represent a very important person of which origin or connections can be traced to Atlantis, because that's the conclusion we draw.
So their conclusion is that it's maybe from Atlantis? That came out of nowhere?
I guess.
Actually, it's a very old piggy bank, as you can see from the hole in the back.
It does kind of look like it, yeah.
Because they had bigger coins back then, so they needed a bigger...
To yours is, have they never carbon dated? Because according to the article, it basically looks like they were like 4th century.
Yeah,
I don't know. And no. The guy was like, no. This is like
disagree.
19th century falsification.
But I love the.
I think that's pretty much from the Romans, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we could.
Atlantis, obviously.
Come on.
If we don't know where it's from, Atlantis.
They actually gave him the document. They were like, "It's a priestess," and he would say, "Atlantean woman."
Hands it off.
It's like a Roman. They were doing like a survey. Where do you think this is from? Please check. And then the
he's
other
a right
box
in.
is like Atlantis.
Well, I think it's from a galaxy far away. All right. 11.
In
Remarkable
Atlantis.
ancient alien high-tech genetic disc could rewrite ancient history and our origins.
Genetic disc.
That is interesting. This is very strange.
Okay, so there's a snake that's eaten an egg.
That's what I see as well.
There's
2 snakes sitting next to each other.
Yep, and then the 2 snakes for some reason grew heads.
Those are tadpoles, I would have said. Next.
Here, let me pull this
Perhaps
up for the viewers. Keep talking.
There's some dude with a really long right leg.
These ones are just like
that fell apart, as you can see.
These ones are just like 90s like patterns that would show up on like t-shirts.
Oh yeah, like the tribal stuff.
Yeah. There's that weird S that you do the 3 lines and connect.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those do look like people. Ooh, that's a pizza slice. Yes, the origin to the pepperoni. Slice. I mean, as you can see, it's got pepperoni, probably some onions.
Yeah.
Like a mushroom.
That's a 3-course meal right there.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then we got
that looks like a crab.
That one is a crab.
That looks like a tadpole.
That one looks like a mouse.
That's a little car in the bottom right.
You could see it. Wait, it's a car?
Aliens. Yeah, and then we got the clowns. We got the little clowns that are all going to fit in it. They're right there. They're lining up.
This is clearly the Saints like insignia.
Like the football?
Yeah. Anyway.
What's it actually say?
What does it actually say?
Although I pretty much figured out what it was.
All right. The genetic disc is a remarkable artifact that could rewrite ancient history and our origins. You said that in the title. The disc carved in lyddite is only about 27 centimeters and weighs about 2 kilograms. It contains incredible information that can only be seen with the help of a microscope.
I can see a lot
of
it.
The genetic disc was originally discovered in Colombia by Professor Jamie Gutierrez. Since it does not fit any existing pre-Columbian culture, it is assumed to be more than 6,000 years old and was created by an unknown ancient civilization that used alien technology. Of course,
that's a jump.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a jump.
I can understand.
Also,
well, you know what?
I get that.
Disagree.
I can understand an ancient civilization, and maybe they did it with means that we have lost through time and whatnot.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how you make the jump to alien.
I bet because of the way that the people look.
Yeah.
Like they're probably clearly that's not accurately a self-portrait.
How much detail can you actually fit on something that small with ancient tools? I mean, come on.
27 centimeters. What is that?
I would just choose somebody at random to draw a perfect human.
About 10 inches.
And then tell them that because they drew somebody that doesn't quite look human, it must be an alien.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, if it's like 10 inches, weighs 2 kilograms, what did they see in the microscope that we can't see right now?
Genetic information. I don't know.
Aliens.
But I do think that it is assumed to be more than 6,000 years old. That is, in the grand scope of time,
it's not even that far. Recent. I was going to say, it's not even that far ago.
No, it's not that long ago.
I mean,
that seems
I'm practically 6,000 years old now.
It's actually a chore wheel.
It's a chore wheel.
So there's who has to, it's like who feed the snake, exactly. You got to drive the kids to soccer practice.
Spin ye old ancient chore wheel.
But I hate ye old ancient chores.
Do it.
Do it. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Next list, because that's what the internet is
cast,
made of. Yeah, I know.
I got you guys.
I'm working on it.
We got you, fool.
I'm working on it.
Got you, fam. No?
My glorps.
Is that like my peeps?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good to know. 17 out-of-place artifacts said to suggest high-tech prehistoric civilizations existed.
Aliens.
Or
Atlantis.
Or robot dinosaurs.
Was run by aliens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like robot dinosaurs.
That would have been sweet too.
Robot dinosaurs.
Oh God! Watch out for the Mecha Tyrannosaurus.
That would be amazing.
Actually, Power Rangers did exist.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Mecha Tyrannosaurus, and it's got minigun arms. Keep going.
So it's basically that character from Digimon. The little dinosaur character, like his highest evolution, he had like guns all over him.
I mean, let's be most of them turned into some sort of either like war machine or deity.
Yeah, they basically did. Yeah. Did you never watch Digimon?
I don't really remember watching that much. I remember watching it, but not that much.
Yeah, I don't remember the Digimon.
It was basically Pokemon with guns.
No, I knew that. Yeah.
They were like
armor.
They went through and they were like, well, I like Gundam and I like Pokemon. Let's merge them.
Only our Digimon can actually talk.
But wouldn't Pikachu be cooler with a shotgun?
Just Pikachu with a shotgun.
And then they're going through and they're naming them. They're like, what
man.
should we name him? Just add Mon at the end.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That was, yeah. The names weren't as creative.
No, they were
yeah.
not.
All right. How many were supposed to be on that? Yeah, 17. Okay. 17. 2,000-year-old batteries. Clay jars with asphalt stoppers and iron rods.
This is one you were talking about.
Made some 2,000 years ago, have been proven capable of generating more than a volt of electricity. These ancient batteries were found by German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig in 1938, just outside of Baghdad, Iraq. Quote, the batteries have always attracted interest as curios.
Yeah, that's misspelled.
Yeah.
No, Curios is something that is curious.
It's I thought it was the off-brand of Cheerios.
No.
Have attracted Cheerios.
Curios.
Dr. Paul Craddock, a metallurgy expert at the British Museum, told BBC in 2003, they are a one-off. As far as we know, nobody else has found anything like these. They are odd things. They are one of life's enigmas. That's deep.
I feel like these kind of things are probably realistic that they actually made it.
Sure.
But because back then, a lot of the time, they didn't have science and people believed in that sorcery and like dark magic were like an actual thing, as you can see from like the burning of witches. And I wonder if people like they went there and they're like, that's not right. That's not natural, and abandon it. Like I would not be surprised if that did turn out to be the situation.
Yeah, well, and there's nothing saying that because we figured something out in our modern day, just because we figured it out today doesn't mean they couldn't have figured it out then.
Exactly.
We do live in an age where inventions and these major discoveries are a little more safe in that they can be better protected. They're documented.
For all we know, the first guy that made it died, and they just lost how to make it. Yeah,
exactly. It's like when the Library of Alexandria burned down. There was so much information lost to history, scientific information, inventions, and like philosophy. We don't know what was lost, and that's kind of the problem. Now we live in an age where everything is digitized, everything's on the internet, it's in hard copy, it's on disc,
right?
It's
tweeted.
So something happens,
we're still gonna have it.
Someone does an Instagram post.
All my inventions are on Instagram.
All of them. In fact, the best way to invent something that's like disruptive is to document every bit of it online.
That is true.
Yeah. Because then nobody can like go after you.
Right.
So, 16, ancient Egyptian light bulb.
Question mark?
The light bulb-like object engraved in a crypt under the Temple of Hathor in Egypt. A relief beneath the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, Egypt, depicts figures standing around a large light bulb-like object. Eric von Daniken, our names here are boring compared to these people's names, who wrote Chariot of the Gods, created a model of the bulb which works when connected to a power source, emitting an eerie purplish light. He's like, here's my black light. I'm going to tell everybody it's a reinvention of this light bulb. Have you guys seen the Egyptian light bulb?
No.
I'm going to bring it up.
Okay.
Egyptian. It's just going to be like a normal like light bulb
Egyptian
company in Egypt right now.
Incandescent.
Oh, man. Where is it? Yep, there it is.
Interesting.
Yep. So it's got a cable, cylinder, filament, and it's being held up by some kind of support structure.
Wait, but
and they don't know how to explain it. They don't know what it is. It's completely out of the ordinary for these.
So how did they know about this emitting purplish light?
They don't know. They just, when the author of Chariot of the Gods recreated it, it happened to emit a purple light.
Interesting. Because
so that
if that were the case,
yes, that could have been something he did. Yeah.
Like part of me wonders if they saw like the aurora
borealis,
the aurora borealis, because if you look at that, it's a swervy line. It emits bright light that if you didn't know what it was, you would be like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
And the way that it looked, to what I saw were people sitting underneath observing this above them.
It's like it's a giant light bulb. Idiot. It's clearly
it's clearly a glowing snake in the sky.
It's clearly a glowing snake in the sky. It's the ancient ones speaking to us.
Everybody
Idiots.
knows
that. Number 15, the Great Wall of Texas. has different meaning now. In 1852, in what is now known as Rockwall County, Texas, farmers digging. Sorry, they're
Code. Yeah, I got a little confused too.
Yeah, okay, county. Farmers digging a well discovered what appeared to be an ancient rock wall, estimated to be some 200,000 to 400,000 years old. Now that is some forbidden archaeology. Some say it's a natural formation. That should be my slogan. Or like my catchphrase.
Now
as that
is some forbidden archaeology.
Yes, instead of it belongs in a museum.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
My slogan is I disagree.
And I just say glorp.
Yes. Great
like
team. Some say it's a natural formation while others say it's clearly man-made. I would say that if they're like clearly bricks of some kind stacked on, if there's a wall, it's probably man-made.
Whenever it's something, hold on, have you actually seen a picture of it?
No, all these, I'll try to look it up, but all these images are broken.
Okay. Because I am curious, because a lot of the ones like this, where it's like a rock formation, my first thought is, it was just a uncommon rock formation. I mean, that's just how things work.
Yeah.
But if, like you said, if it is bricks, then that's clearly a wall.
That's a wall.
That's
definitely a wall. Here's another picture.
Yeah, I mean, that's a wall.
Because if it's in Texas, I couldn't imagine like one of those where it's like the water rises and like erodes it at certain levels.
Yeah, that's definitely individual stones.
Yeah.
Very old. Huh. Obviously been under a tremendous amount of pressure. So cool.
Big knuckle crack.
Geologist James Shelton and Harvard-trained architect John Lindsay have noted elements that seem to be of architectural design, including archways, linteled portals, and square openings that resemble windows. Okay.
That's kind of cool.
And it does predate the modern conception of humanity.
That one I can see.
Fortress from the aliens.
From the robot dinosaurs that were afraid of the aliens with their purple lights.
Totally.
I mean,
that makes sense.
Obviously.
With their purple lights.
That makes sense.
All right. Number 14, 1.8 billion year old nuclear reactor. In 1972, a French factory imported uranium ore from Oklo in Africa's Gabon Republic. The uranium had already been extracted. They found the site of origin to have apparently functioned as a large-scale nuclear reactor that came into being 1.8 billion years ago and was in operation for some 500,000 years. Dr. Glenn T. Seaborg, former head of the United States Atomic Energy Commission and Nobel Prize winner for his work in the synthesis of heavy elements, explained why he believes it wasn't a natural phenomenon and thus must be a man-made nuclear reactor. For uranium to burn in a reaction, very precise conditions are needed. The water must be extremely pure, for one, much purer than exists naturally. The material U-235 is necessary for nuclear fission to occur. It is one of the isotopes found naturally in uranium. Several specialists in reactor engineering have said they believe the uranium in Oklo could not have been rich enough in U-235 for a reaction to take place naturally.
That's pretty crazy.
That is pretty amazing.
A very interesting one because when it's at least these other ones is a couple thousand.
Right.
A 1.8 billion year old nuclear reactor.
Yes. So, and now what they mean by nuclear reactor is that it's not like a building with buttons and switches. Is that there's this very specific spot, this very narrow specific spot that is having a nuclear reaction,
right?
In the same way you find like a nuclear reactor reacting. All the factors that go into something like that are just astronomical.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's similar to kind of like natural gas deposits, where it's just a very strange situation where it all lines up to create a natural gas deposit. Because the other thing with this kind of stuff is, did it start in that kind of shape, or did it somehow change over time to start to resemble? But either way, that one's actually pretty cool because it's very forbidden.
It's very mystery, very forbidden.
That is some forbidden archaeology.
That is some forbidden. Like, who are you talking to?
He actually turns this direction and that.
Now that's
forbidden archaeology.
Yes. Then you see like like a gun barrel come out. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I disagree.
Dan has the gun. The London Hammer has the gun. Number 13,
Hammer
seafaring
gun. I'm kind of like those turtles from Super Mario. I just hurl hammers.
Seafaring map makers before Antarctica was covered in ice. A map created by Turkish admiral and cartographer Piri Reis in 1513. But sourced from various earlier maps, is thought by some to depict Antarctica as it was in a very remote age before it was covered with ice. I have seen this map. So basically, what you see at the bottom of the map is Antarctica, but it's the land beneath the ice, which is very strange because even if they had traveled to Antarctica at the time, they still would have seen ice.
Right.
They wouldn't have seen the landmass underneath.
Interesting.
A landmass is shown to jut out from the southern coastline of South America. Captain Lorenzo W. Burroughs, a U.S. Air Force captain in the cartographic section, wrote a letter to Dr. Charles Hapgood in 1961, saying that this landmass seems to accurately show Antarctica's coast as it is under the ice. We have several more to go.
See, that one
not
seems,
much time, so I'm going to
I can see why that one would be forbidden for the sake of it kind of contradicts. Because how far back was that saying it was? Before I make my statement.
It doesn't.
Because I'm like
1513. Well, the map was made in 1513, but the mystery is how did they know exactly what the landmass looked like?
Exactly, because it's one of those ones where that one would kind of contradict the whole like tectonic movements to because that would imply that somehow it never moved, but everything else on the planet did, but not that.
Yes.
And that I could see making this a forbidden one, or very contradicting with what science tells us.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
But very interesting.
Well,
too.
and what's interesting to me is that modern science, as we know it, and even archaeology, are still very new disciplines.
Oh yeah.
In the scope of history, they're very new disciplines, and we, believe it or not, scientists don't know everything.
What?
What? Yeah, and so we still know very little about our history. We know very little about the history of the Earth, but we try to posture like we know
make
way
educated
more.
guesses.
Yes, exactly.
And
and when somebody has like a Nobel Prize or a PhD or something, and they with authority claim that something is this old and nothing can be older, we kind of we latch onto that for a long time.
They have established and
right
being like having integrity with their claims that you would
Exactly.
go, oh well
if they
he was
say
very
it,
accurate with all this other stuff.
Right.
I see no reason for him to come up with something random for no reason, because
Well,
it also would discredit them.
Right, exactly. We're actually just now starting to the more we discover about the universe and time and dimensions and everything, we're realizing that even Albert Einstein was wrong about many things. Stephen Hawking was wrong about many things, even though these were these brilliant men whose theories stood for a very, very long time. It takes a lot to discredit. But we are now in this place where we're like, okay, maybe they were wrong about some of these things.
I mean, it's the classic, like, for the longest time, people thought the world was flat, but then like someone else discredited it, and like there are so many of those things, and so it very is interesting.
And the Earth being flat was it was misinformation.
But it was still something that was widely
the Catholic Church
believed
did not
because certain
correct.
people said.
Yes, exactly.
They believed the Catholic Church, and they were
Yes,
like, well,
exactly.
if they're saying it, it has to be.
It was actually a movement to keep people dumb, unfortunately.
I mean, kind of worked.
All right, number 12, a 2,000-year-old earthquake detector. In 132 AD, Zhang Heng created the world's first seismoscope. How exactly it works remains a mystery. 132 AD. Replicas have worked with a precision comparable to modern instruments. In 138 AD, it correctly indicated that an earthquake occurred about 300 miles west of Luoyang, the capital city. No one had felt the quake in Luoyang and dismissed the warning until a messenger arrived days later requesting aid. So this just sounds like somebody who is way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Right. Or just kind of understood that you can see vibrate, or you can create something that detects vibrations that you can't feel.
Yep. All right, 11, 150,000-year-old pipes. Caves near Mount Baigong in China contain pipes leading to a nearby lake. They were dated by the Beijing Institute of Geology to about 150,000 years ago, according to Brian Dunning of Skeptoid.com. State-run media Xinyu reported that the pipes were analyzed at a local smeltery and 8% of the material could not be identified. Must be aliens. Zheng Jiandong, a geology research fellow from China Earthquake Administration, told state-run newspaper People's Daily in 2007 that some of the pipes were found to be highly radioactive. Ooh.
Interesting.
Don't drink that water.
Yeah.
150,000-year-old pipes containing materials that we can't identify. Aliens. Thank you. Now that is some forbidden archaeology.
Well, you know what? I disagree. Because if you think about it, actually, I actually do in this one.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those ones where the age of it does kind of bring up mysterious questions, but
sure,
we do have proof of like ancient civilizations creating metals that the creation of it, like the method, was lost. Sure. That
again, it's lost methods, like, lost technology, lost.
Was it lead that humans didn't, like, we created it, then the knowledge of how to create it was lost.
That was steel.
And that steel was known because it was the carbon from like coal, or in Viking situation, the bones of their enemies. Like there was a material that was lost as to how it was created.
Okay.
And that's why it's a finite source that we have to actually mine, because we're like, how the hell did they do this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, they figured something out that we haven't.
Exactly. Like the age of this is very questionable.
Sure.
But the fact of a mysterious substance, in my opinion, it's plausible.
Well, sure. And honestly, I think 150,000 years, so 50,000 years before modern hominids, isn't that out there a theory? Because if you subscribe to evolution in our current understanding of it, 50,000 years is not a very long time.
No.
Especially when evolution takes place over the course of millions and millions of years. Hominids who can create things like pipes in a 50,000 year period, sure, why not? I mean, why couldn't they have already developed that and then died off?
Yeah. I mean, it's not that far-fetched to go, let's make something that we can put a liquid through. Yeah. I mean, if it's essentially like a very thin vase.
Right.
I've seen a lot of those.
And just a lot of those. Yeah. Running along. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking on you. You haven't made a joke in a while.
I'm sorry. I haven't had a joke to make.
I expect you to be on all the time.
I'm sorry.
Don't make me bring down the hammer.
The hammer.
The hammer.
Number 9, drill bit and coal. Oh, I think we already covered this one.
I think so.
Scotland. No, actually we haven't. John Buchanan presented a mysterious object to a meeting of the Society of Antiquaries of Scotland on December 13th, 1852. Maybe we should call our podcast that. The Society of Antiquaries.
I do like that. It's very
sound.
It
I don't think many people would be able to find us.
That is true.
Yeah, who's going to search Society of Antiquaries?
And they're constantly misspelling antiquaries.
Is it a C? Is it a K? Is it a Q?
Oh, cool. Antiques. A drill bit had been found encapsulated in coal about 22 inches thick, buried in a bed of clay mixed with boulders about 7 feet thick. The Earth's coal is said to have formed hundreds of millions of years ago. The Society decided that the instrument was of modern level of advancement, but it concluded that the iron instrument might have been a part of a borer broken during some former search of coal. Buchanan's detailed report did not include any signs that the coal surrounding the instrument had been punctured by drilling.
But it didn't include anything that says it wasn't.
Exactly. So inconclusive. Totally inconclusive.
Aliens.
2.8 billion year old spheres.
I think didn't we do this one?
I feel like it sounds familiar.
Yeah, South Africa. Yeah, I think we talked about this. Spheres with 5 grooves around them found in mines in South Africa have been said by some to be naturally formed masses of mineral matter. Others have said they were precisely shaped by a prehistoric human hand. Yeah, we covered the spheres.
I think so,
these are the same ones. Number 7, Iron Pillar of Delhi. This pillar is at least 1,500 years old, but could be older. It remains rust-free and is of astounding purity. That's what they said about me. Astounding purity.
Up till about 15.
It is 99.72% iron, according to Professor A.P. Gupta, head of the Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities at the Institute of Technology and Management in India. That is a title for a resume. In modern times, wrought iron has been made with a purity of 99.8%, but it contains manganese and sulfur, two ingredients absent in the pillar. It was made at least 400 years before the largest known foundry of the world could have produced it, wrote John Rowlett in a study of the craftsmen of ancient and medieval civilizations to show the influence of their training on our present-day method of trade education. Maybe the editor should shorten that title a little bit.
No.
Okay, so cool, pillar. Number 6, Viking sword Ulfbert. When archaeologists found the Viking sword Ulfbert dating from 800 to 1000 AD, they were stunned. They couldn't see how the technology to make such a sword would have been available until the Industrial Revolution 800 years later.
To see what this sword looks like.
Yes, me too. Will it open an image?
Oh, I was going to look it up on my phone so you could keep reading the Ulfbert. There it is. Ooh, there's a documentary on it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, I guess that's it.
Mall Ninja Swords.
Probably like...
Oh, wow. There's no way that's what it is.
No.
Let me see.
That's pristine.
That's like...
what it is.
No, that's not.
I think that might be like a replica.
I'd
Hold on.
be like, okay, that's aliens.
Yes, exactly. When archaeologists found the Viking sword of Ulfbert,
I think
dating
that's
from its carbon content is 3 times higher than other swords of its time, and impurities were removed to such a degree that the iron ore must have been heated to at least 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
This sword was forged in the fires of Mount Doom.
So this is what it looked like.
That's what it looked like.
This was how it was found.
Wow,
wow.
That's impressive, yeah.
It is impressive, yeah.
It's on the Wikipedia page if you want to look it up.
With great
yourself.
effort and precision, modern blacksmith Richard Führer of Wisconsin forged a sword of Ulfbert quality using technology that would have been available in the Middle Ages. He said it was the most complicated thing he'd ever made, and he used methods not known to have been used by the people of that time.
Well, I mean, there could have been like a master swords maker
whose information was also lost.
his techniques were lost.
Yeah, because I mean,
exactly.
back then you would not share.
Right,
that kind
because
of
that's the
techniques.
idea. Yeah.
Yes.
Other than if you had an apprentice who was going to take over for you when you died or something along those lines.
Yep.
But if he didn't have that, if he didn't pass his techniques on to anybody, it would have just been this master sword maker, and he died.
I mean,
and we lost it.
In majority of RPGs I've played, the ancient swords are always the most powerful.
That is true.
That's true. Yeah.
Who crafted
so
the
I need
master
this sword
sword?
now.
That's the question.
Number 8, you need the actual sword.
Yes.
Number 5, 100 million year old hammer. Covered that. Number 4, prehistoric work site. Okay.
Bunch of raptors.
What?
With hard heads.
Yeah, well, it's prehistoric.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of raptors walking around with like blueprints.
I'm a 4th generation hole watcher. Workers at a stone
break.
Workers at a stone quarry near Aix-en-Provence, France. I'm sure I ruined that.
Totally.
In the 18th century, came across tools stuck in a layer of limestone 50 feet underground.
Good.
Wow.
Jesus.
The find was recorded in the American Journal of Science and Arts in 1820 by T.D. Porter, who was translating Count Buren's work, Mineralogy. The wooden instruments had turned into agate, a hard stone, Porter wrote. Everything tended to prove that this work had been executed upon the spot where the traces existed. The presence of man had then preceded the formation of this stone, and that very considerably, since he was already arrived at such a degree of civilization that the arts were known to him, and that he wrought the stone and formed columns out of it. As stated... Of course, I would have said the same thing. As stated in the case of the hammer above, limestone has been known to form relatively quickly around modern tools. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So maybe not really prehistoric, just a big limestone deposit.
Yeah.
Have you seen my tools? Yeah, they're under that limestone deposit. They keep.
Oh man,
You left them out too long.
limestone forms so quickly. It's like a fungus.
3 million year old bridge, according to Actually, I was just doing some research on this as well. According to ancient Indian legend, King Rama built a bridge between India and Sri Lanka more than 1 million years ago. What appears to be remnants of such a bridge have been seen from satellite images, but many say it is a natural formation because historical stories could be wrong. Right?
It is a legend.
It is a legend.
I have worked in Sri Lanka. It is a legend, and there is like a land bridge that will, when the tides are right.
Dr.
Oh wait, it only appears if the tides are like down or something? Because that sounds very naturally made.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, that sounds very naturally made of like over time. It's just slowly worn down. Interesting.
Oh, they actually, same thing occurred, they believe, in the story when Moses split the sea. If you actually go to the Red Sea, there's like a natural land bridge when the tide is low. Right, you can actually cross on. Yeah. Okay. So because
back then you would definitely take credit. You're like, oh, that bridge, I made it.
Yeah, I made that. Oh wait, it's underwater now. Yeah, I did that.
It was on purpose. It's by design.
It was me. Yeah.
Me and Jesus. Or me and God at that time, not Jesus.
At that, probably predated.
A little bit, yeah.
Dr. Badrinarayanan,
I love these names.
Former director of the Geological Survey of India, studied core samples from the bridge. He was puzzled by the appearance of boulders on top of a marine sand layer and surmised that the boulders must have been artificially placed there. No single natural explanation has been agreed upon by geologists. Dating has been controversial, as some say any given part...
underage?
I was gonna make a dating joke too. As some say, any given part of the bridge, such as coral samples, cannot give a true picture of how old the entire bridge is. So you do have two camps that believe, no, it's natural, no, it's man-made. Yeah. And the story just happens to be true. Right. But in the story, it was like monkey men that basically helped them build it.
Yeah. They had like, I went to a museum in Sri Lanka where they had like depictions of the legend of how it was created. So
interesting.
Yeah. So. Anyway,
it's actually an ancient stone giant that fell asleep. He like tripped.
That's a cool story. Oh no! I guess I'll stay here. Number 2, 500,000-year-old spark plug.
That's got to be the one we just did.
I think so. In 1961, the people were out searching for geodes for their gem and gift shop in Olanka, California. No, this is not the one. Oh. When they found what appeared to be a spark plug encased in geode. I actually have seen pictures of this. They look like spark plugs. Virginia Maxey, one of the 3 discoverers, said at the time that a geologist examined the fossils around the device and dated the device at 500,000 years or older. The geologist was never named. What? Why not? And the current whereabouts of the artifact are unknown.
It's in my car.
So, an unsubstantiated story.
Man, I needed a new spark plug and I found it.
It works. You didn't think anything of it. Yeah, man. This ancient spark plug totally works.
It was like in some rocks, so I just smashed it really fast. And...
dunk, dunk. What? This is one dirty spark plug.
Jesus,
come on!
Not taking care of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're gonna that. It just sounds like a hoax. No. All right, we'll continue reading this. The geologist was never named, and the current whereabouts of the artifact are unknown. Critics of the claim, Pierre Stromberg and Paul V. Heinrich, only have x-rays and an artist's sketch of the artifact to analyze.
Did you guys take pictures or bring the artifact? No, but if you give me a piece of paper, I could probably sketch it.
I had this napkin, and I just drew it on there. That's a copy stain. Don't ignore it.
Ignore this.
They think it was a modern spark plug encased in a quick-forming concentration rather than a geode.
Sure. That seems more likely.
Yeah. And our last one for this episode, prehistoric wall near Bahamas. A wall of rock in large, thick block shapes was found off the coast of the Bahamas in 1968. Archaeologist William Donato has conducted multiple dives to investigate the wall and hypothesizes it is a man-made structure some 12,000 to 19,000 years old, built to protect a prehistoric settlement from waves. Okay. Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
He's found it to be a multi-tiered structure, including prop stones that appear to be placed there by human hands. He's also found what he believes to be anchor stones with rope holes in them. Dr. Eugene Shin, a retired geologist who worked for the U.S. Geological Survey, has said core rock samples he took show a dip toward deep water. If all the cores show a dip toward deep water, this would prove the rock formed where it is and did not form elsewhere, later to be transported by humans to its present location. So it would be natural.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. His later writings said that all of his samples showed this dip. Seeming to prove it is a natural formation, but his earlier study stated that only 25% of his samples showed a dip. Dr. Greg Little, a psychologist who has taken an interest in this structure, confronted Shin about his discrepancy. Oh man, these are tough people. And Shin admitted he didn't really take his studies seriously. And said, and I quote, "I got a little carried away to make a good story."
What? The guy was like, all right, I'll be honest.
Yeah, got me.
I was a little drunk.
I don't really remember half that week.
It was the Bahamas, man.
Come on.
Those in academia, man, they party hard.
Yeah, they do.
Those are dangerous people. Don't make
He's
them
got
confront
like
you.
a pina colada and a coke, and he's like, I bet that wall's got some dip.
Got some dip.
It might be 25, might be 100. I don't know. But it probably
Where's my
is.
London hammer?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, those are more examples, and I'm sure there's a lot more examples of forbidden archaeology. Obviously, we can't cover it all in one episode. And again, like I said at the beginning of this episode, what?
I said Norin too, because this is...
Right, exactly. Forbidden archaeology is actually very difficult to research. It's very difficult to find any real,
They're pretty cool,
concrete
I will say. A lot of these are kind of cool.
And I think what it proves, in my mind, is that humanity is much older than we think. Humanity has invented things long before we consider them to have been invented traditionally. And that humanity has been a lot more intelligent probably in the past, or at least went through waves of innovation. And
I do
discovery.
always find it funny when people are like, like we said at the beginning of the episode, like human history is cyclical.
Yes.
And yet for some reason we can't fathom that they were capable of creating some of the same tools and stuff like that as us, because that's completely far-fetched. That's not possible, but we're still repeating like history. That's a very contradicting kind of thing, but it's very cool.
Yeah. Some of the biggest movements in forbidden archaeology actually claim that if you really look at historical record with no bias at all, it actually supports a lot of Hindu traditions and what they consider to be history, like ancient history. So that humankind is cyclical, and so
interesting.
Any final thoughts there?
Only that is some forbidden
that is
archaeology.
I'm
stealing it. I'm
that
stealing
is
it.
mine.
I'm gonna take
That
it.
is
I'm gonna take it.
mine. You got glorp.
You got glorped.
Actually. Nice. I invented glorp. So, glorp.
That is true. Technically speaking, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did invent
So I'm
glorp.
gonna steal this other one.
Oh, come on, man.
I might steal glorp still too.
I'm just going to
I
steal.
haven't
It
decided.
belongs in a museum from Indiana Jones.
That's fair.
It's mine now.
That is some glorping forbidden history.
I like it.
All right, so let us know what you guys think, and ladies think, in the comment section below. What are some forbidden archaeological finds that you've heard about, read about, that we didn't cover in this episode? Please share that in the comment section below. And how old do you think humanity is?
About 26 years.
26 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
that makes you
younger than
ancient.
you.
Yeah. All right, you can find Dan
At Dan T Producer on Twitter and Instagram, or Dan T Streamer on Twitch.
Andy. Where can they find you?
For I'm the Andy on Instagram, man.
Yes.
That's it.
And you can find me on Twitter at Film Circuit and Instagram at Northward Films. And you can also find us at our new club, London Hammer.
Ooh, it is a good club name.
It is a good club
like
name.
that. Yeah.
And when I gotta
feel like it's
close,
gonna be
I gotta
a-
bring down the hammer.
I feel like it's gonna be like a male strip club though.
It
I don't
sounds
know
a
why.
bit like a male
Yeah.
strip club.
We're going to London.
But they got good
Hammer.
wings, so
Well, don't skimp on the buffet.
don't skip. Yeah.
Little did
All
you know,
right.
it's actually like a bar for just construction workers.
Well, that makes sense too, actually. Yeah.
Still sounds like a male strip club.
I mean,
Glorp, everybody, thank you.
You would know, Gary. You would be the one to know. So you guys have a
I'm
good one.
Male construction
Just let it
stripper.
go. Just let it go. Everybody glorp and go home.